Let's be real. When you picture a TV or radio station, you probably think of a room filled with giant mixing boards, glowing dials, maybe even stacks of videotapes. Well, that world is pretty much gone. We're going to dive into how the broadcast studio underwent this radical shift from old-school analog hardware to a super high-tech, IT-driven operation that honestly looks more like it belongs in Silicon Valley. And just so you know where we're coming from, this explainer is digging into Chapter 39 of a big 40-part guide on modern broadcast studios from Virtualization Options LLC. The whole series is huge, but today we are laser-focused on one key piece of the puzzle, the studio itself. All right, so let me throw a question at you. What in the world does a corporate IT professional, the person who manages servers and networks, have in common with someone who climbs and maintains a massive radio tower? Not too long ago, the answer would have been, well, pretty much nothing. But today, they're practically becoming the same person.
And that gets us to the main character in this whole story of transformation, this completely new type of broadcast engineer.
So say hello to the hybrid engineer. And this isn't just some fancy new job title. It's a completely different mindset. In a modern broadcast facility, knowing your way around TCP/IP networking is just as vital as understanding how to modulate a radio frequency signal. You've got to have one foot firmly planted in both worlds. And check this out. This slide lays it all out so clearly. On the left, you've got the old school stuff. Transmitters, antennas, how radio waves travel. That's classic RF engineering. But on the right, that's a skill set ripped straight from a tech company's IT department. We're talking enterprise networking, massive storage systems, and yep, even cybersecurity. The modern engineer has to be a master of both sides.
Okay, so how did this happen? To really get it, let's trace the journey of a signal, starting right from its birthplace, inside the production studio.
A broadcast studio is so much more than just a quiet room. It is a piece of precision engineering. You need special acoustic treatments to kill echoes, RF shielding to keep out interference from, say, cell phones, and crazy redundant air conditioning to keep all the gear from melting. On top of all that, it's got its own isolated power with batteries and generators to make sure it absolutely never, ever goes dark. And right at the heart of this controlled environment is the modern camera. But don't just think of it as a device that captures an image. No, this thing is a high-end data capture machine. It takes light and sound and turns it into a massive river of digital information, the raw clay for the entire production.
And that phrase right there, digital information, that's where everything changed. This was the turning point, the moment that sparked the revolution. This was the great digital leap. I mean, just look at this timeline. It's kind of wild. Analog TV was the king for more than half a century. But then, starting in the 90s, the move towards digital standards kicked off, and the takeover happened incredibly fast. It didn't just improve the old system, it completely replaced it, paving the way for the HD and 4K quality we all just expect today.
And this slide perfectly shows why digital was such a game changer. Instead of one fuzzy analog channel, digital's ones and zeros let us have multiple subchannels, interactive data, and, this is the big one, built-in error correction. Remember seeing snowy, ghostly images on your TV? Yeah, that's gone. With digital, the signal is either perfect or it's not there at all. But there was a catch. Uncompressed digital video files are gigantic. They're just huge. So the real magic that makes all of this practical is something called compression. It's basically a set of incredibly complex algorithms that intelligently shrink these files down to a size we can actually store and broadcast. Now, compression isn't perfect. If you get too aggressive with it, you start to see weird digital mistakes called artifacts. See the smooth gradient in this image? That ugly color banding is a classic example. But the cool part is, engineers can fix this. It's a constant, delicate dance of fine-tuning the processing to get the smallest file with the best possible picture quality. So let's put it all together. Everything is now a digital file, a stream of data running on a network. What does that sound like? Well, this is when the modern broadcast studio started to show its secret identity. It wasn't just a studio anymore. It was transforming into a high-performance IT data center. Just look at this. Seriously, your first thought is probably, oh, that's the server room for a software company or something. Wrong. This is the technical heart of a modern TV station. All those racks of servers and network switches, that is what replaced walls and walls of specialized, single-purpose broadcast machines. So the guts of the operation are now pure IT. We're talking about incredibly fast networks, huge shared storage systems that hold petabytes of video, that's thousands of terabytes, and powerful servers running everything. And the real maestro conducting this whole orchestra, it's the automation software. It's the brains of the entire operation. And that software is unbelievably smart. It takes the entire day schedule, it double-checks that every commercial and show is in the right place, and then it sends out commands to every single piece of gear, second by second, to make the broadcast happen flawlessly. And here's the best part. If any piece of hardware fails, the automation instantly detects it and executes a backup plan. Okay, we've built our perfect program inside this high-tech facility. So what about the final step? How does the signal actually leave the building and make it to your TV?
This is a microwave dish, but it's a very special kind. It's part of what's called a Studio Transmitter Link, or STL. You can think of it as a private, super reliable point-to-point wireless connection. It beams the station's final output from the studio directly to the main transmission tower, which could be miles away on top of a mountain for the best coverage.
And this brings everything full circle. On the left, you see the old analog world. On the right, a modern digital control room. But despite this entire IT revolution we've been talking about, they both do the exact same thing. They feed a signal to a transmitter. That very last step, the final mile, still relies on the fundamental physics of radio waves to broadcast that signal through the air.
This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? The two separate worlds of broadcasting and information technology have completely merged. This convergence didn't just add a few new tools, it fundamentally redefined the entire job of a broadcast engineer, making those hybrid IT skills not just helpful, but absolutely essential.
And that leaves us with one last kind of mind-bending question to think about. We just saw the studio become a data center. But now, more and more of these data center functions are moving from on-site servers into the cloud. So what's next? Will the broadcast studio of the future even be a physical building? Or will it just be a virtual concept, existing everywhere and nowhere, all at once?